All right, so let's move on to our other legal story. Let's talk about Honey. I was gonna say Honey Sostin, Sonny Hostin, who, remember, we talked about on the show that her husband is being sued in this whole medical fraud lawsuit, something or another, that all the other doctors who were caught up in this lawsuit is willing to settle, and how Sonny and her husband have filed another suit separate where they're saying, like, we're not selling. Well, now comes word, and I came across this story today, that Sonny's husband is looking to settle, which has got me kind of side-eyeing you that they might be a little guilty situation going on in this, because I'm like, if y'all was sitting there worrying about y'all reputation and your name and all this other stuff, and Sonny out here and them filing $5 million countersuits and all this other stuff, and now y'all trying to backpedal and say, like, well, we'll just settle because we don't want to be caught up in litigation and having this dragged out, especially when there's a lot of uncertainty in a lot of y'all jobs, specifically. Well, I don't know necessarily what's going on in his practice, or maybe he could end up going to jail. But then on Sonny's part, she has to renew her contract if she's going to come back for the next season, because she's in the final throes of her contract with this current season that's currently going on The View. So the husband of longtime co-host of The View, Sonny Hostin, is among a group of doctors still negotiating to settle a massive medical fraud lawsuit in New York City. Dr. Emmanuel Hostin was granted an extension on Monday to file a response to the December 17th lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company, which insures taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. Now, American Transit recently informed the court that it had settled with 141 of the 186 defendants named in the 698-page complaint. The insurer indicated that it expected to reach additional settlement soon. Settlement discussions are ongoing, said Haas's attorney, Kurt Lundgren, calling an extension a mere formality. It's a formality. Hashtag, quote, we have every expectation of resolving matters with American Transit on behalf of all of our clients, said Lundgren of Thwaites, Lundgren, and Darcy. American Transit attorneys recently gave us the courtesy of an extension of time to answer the complaint so as to continue discussions of resolution. Now, Hostin's response was due Monday, but Magistrate Judge James R. Chose granted, okay, I think they messed up there. James R. Cho, I think they meant to say, granted the extension until March 12th. Now, Lundgren is also representing Dr. Albert Graziosa, Dr. William B. Jones, as well as the clinics they practice from, according to a court document filed on Friday. American Transit alleges that Hostin, who owns Hostin Orthopedics, performs surgeries at other ambulatory surgical centers and billed American Transit through each of those entities in exchange for kickbacks and/or compensation, which are disguised as dividends or other cash distributions for an investment. Hostin has an Empire State ASC, the lawsuit claims. Now, licensed to practice medicine in New York since August of 2002, Emmanuel Hostin married Sonny in 1998 and has 2 children with the talk show host, a lawyer, and former federal prosecutor. So yeah, there goes the family, and shout out to her son, because Gabriel is fine as hell. But anyway, let's move on. Of course, when I see somebody cute, I got to point it out. And he is of age, I can say that. Now, the consolatory tone from Lundgren is a departure from recent public statements from the Hostins. Now, in a January 13th story by the New York Post, Sonny Hostin said the couple had hired celebrity lawyer Mark Garagos and will be filing a countersuit against American Transit. Her statements to the newspaper claimed the insurance company has a history of filing frivolous lawsuits and is using my celebrity status to start a disgusting media smear campaign against my husband, which included me and our children. Now, American Transit traces its complaint to New York's no-fault law, which states that plaintiffs are required to pay their health service expenses that are reasonably incurred as a result of injuries suffered by occupants of their insured's motor vehicles, pedestrians, and bicyclists, the lawyer says. Now, enacted in 1974, the no-fault law requires insurers to compensate covered persons for basic economic loss, which includes medical costs, incidental cost and lost earnings. Now, across the country, officials are taking a closer look at no-fault laws enacted during the 1970s. They need to change that whole no-fault law stuff. Because I'm like, what if it is your fault? Then it's like, oh, well, y'all just trying to find a way to slither y'all behinds out of having to pay for a lot of damages that y'all cause. Because doctors ain't perfect. They make mistakes too. So I don't like that no-fault law stuff. And that's always been the thing that's bothered me about, being in New York and that whole no fault law crap. Now, personal line auto insurers that insure personal and private passenger vehicles are required to provide benefits up to $50,000 a person. Commercial auto insurers are required to provide up to $200,000 per person. Saying, quote, this has put a target on the backs of livery vehicles and the insurance companies which insure them for unsavory persons seeking to capitalize on payouts following injuries. Now, in the aggregate, those abusing the no-fault law have racked up hundreds of millions in fraudulent payments, destabilized the livery insurance markets in New York City, according to the lawsuit. Now, the alleged fraud was led by a group of ambulatory surgical centers from 2009 to the present. The lawsuit claims injured people were first treated at clinic, then transferred to an ACS for orthopedic and/or pain management evaluations. So that is the latest on this story. And like I've been keeping y'all abreast of this story, I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops. So I don't know. It's just for now, y'all saying that you're worried about your reputation, and Sunny especially worried about her reputation because it's like, yeah, we are aware of Manny because she always talking about him on the damn View. But for the most part, she is she's the more or less the one that's out there. And I already know a lot of y'all people that are anti the View and Trump supporters are going to be like really excited and salivating at the mouth over the fact that with this whole lawsuit stuff is happening, and what she's not talking about, because I guess she's letting the legal people handle it, and she's not going to bring it up on the View because that's just not something that they're going to do. None of the cast members, none of the people that are her co-hosts, and they're not going to bring it up. So that's where I come in because I don't have no ties to them people over there. But this is the latest on this story. And like I said, let them do what they got to do and figure out what they're going to figure out. But as far as like the fraudulent stuff goes, it's not looking good on your part, sir. Like it's making it like, oh, you settling? Then there might be some truth to the fact of there may be some guilt in all of this. Or maybe what it is like you don't want to spend years in court and spending millions of dollars trying to fight something where everybody else is pretty much settling. I don't know. So I'll just keep you guys abreast of the story as it develops, but I definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.